Okay, here we go. This is my strimmer. Yeah, and basically what has happened, it's a trigger, one there and one there. They're both broken. Yeah, there's one bit there and there's one bit. Yeah, so I went and bought the triggers today. I got this little bit of instruction leaflet to go with it, how to replace it. But as you can see, it's completely different because the instruction doesn't include all these parts. Yeah, so the first thing I've done, I'm going to tell you, the first thing I've done was to take that screw out, take all these screws out. Well, I slackened them all off, and then I've discovered that there's more there. Yeah, so then I came around to here, undid these 3 screw hairs, which this goes onto the back there. Alright, when you take that off, you gotta be careful with this little bit here, because the petrol tank, which is here, that screws on. See that screw there? That screws onto there. Yeah, so don't lose that. So I've taken that off. I've undid this. It's just dangling there now. This cable that runs across here, I'm not sure how I get that off, but I'm gonna have to get that off, I think, in order to get this cover off. Yep. So I've undone everything. I've basically pried this open like that until I managed to get this out, and now that I've got that out, I can sort of see the fixtures on it. So that's on that pole there. If I take it off the pole, there you go. So if I take it off the pole, there you go, it just slides off and I can see my trigger. Now I can figure out how my trigger is fitted in. If I have a look, keeping it in the position it should be in. I've got that bit, and that's it. So at least I know if I lean that up there, just like that, stay just like that, then I know my trigger goes in like that. So all I've got to do now is locate my trigger in there, like that, and then slide it back on the pole. I don't think the position really matters because it will line up with the hole. Yeah, so I'm going to fit that back in there some way, somehow, and then take it to the next step, and I'll tell you what I do from there. Because I don't want to film, I've got to do it and explain as I go along. Okay, so I'm going to fit this on, and then I'm going to figure out how to disconnect this bottle and this cable in order to get it right open so I can work a little bit better. Okay? Okay, it's not that difficult. I've picked it up and had a look, and simple. These bits there, as you can see, press into there, the spring, the position the spring is in. The spring wouldn't have moved because that hasn't come out. So basically, touch your spring back and press your clip in. There you go. I'm going to do that. I'm about to show you that. Oh, son of a gun. Yeah, your spring is your spring. If I hold it on sideways, in the side of here, you got a slot just cut out there where my thumb is. Right, that just fits in there. So you end up with something like, where do you end up with that? Yeah, so your spring floats around like that. Remember, I've leaned up my bit that I took off the way it came out. So it came out like that. That's just for my benefit. So I'm now going to put this one back in through the hole there. Yeah, just fiddle around with it a little bit. There you go. Let's drop it in. And then get your top end over. Line it all up. And once you get it to that stage, see your corner there? Just press it in. Yeah, both sides. Press down. And now if you press your trigger, you see, you got your spring action. Yeah, so we just gotta make sure that stays in there securely. At least until we get it into its casing, which should hold it in place properly. Right, now this is got to be slid back onto your pole, just so you took it off. Yeah, so mess around like that. There you go. That's it. The cable comes back around and just fits on there like that until you're ready to put it in its casing. Yeah, so I'm going to do that now and then see. Yeah. Okay, I've checked out my cable, but before that, my tank, I've taken my tank off. It's got two pipes on it. As you can see, they're both different lengths, yeah? And they just slide on, yeah? So I made sure to check before I take it. Son of a gun. Yeah, so I made sure before I take it off that the pipes where they're from or whatever, so you can see one is longer than the other, and one goes on here, and the other one goes on there. So this is my finger, my pointer, one's there and the other one's just there. So that's the longer pipe, that's the shorter pipe, and they just press on. Yep. From there I've traced my cable. You see my cable there, and it goes down there, around there, and it comes back out just here. Yep. So if I get myself a pair of pliers, which is I've got the wrong one, hang on 1 second, go over to my toolbox and I'll use this one. If I go to my toolbox, if I get my pliers and I get hold of the cable there, I can detach it. Basically I pull it up and unhook it from here, and then I can be able to get it out. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, I've detached my cable. Yeah, now my cable I showed you earlier on. Let me just twist this over. Yeah, your cable goes down inside that part there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and get a better angle. There it is. Your cable goes just inside this here. Yeah, so you gotta sort of prise it that way. So your cable, where is it? You're doing that with your cable. Push it forward. Yeah, don't try and pull it upwards, because it won't come out. It won't come out. Yeah, just press it forward and it should come out. Now then you got your cables released. Yeah. Now once I got my cables released, I came around here and I found that I couldn't get the casing off, because this cable here, you see that cable there, which is going to here, there's a hook on the casing just there. It sort of hooks it, and I don't see why that should stop it. Yeah, because it's on the top part of the casing, it's stopping the casing lifts, but I couldn't see where the cable ran to, so I had to take my exhaust out of the way. My exhaust is bolted on there and there, yeah, so I could see where the cable's gone, but it's hidden under the casing there. So I'm gonna have to pull my cable back towards me, so get it over that reach there. Yeah, I don't want to damage it in any way, so I'm gonna tinkle about with that and then get back to you. Okay, here we are. Managed to get my casing open, managed to get the cable off of, if I see if I can show you where it was hooked onto. The casing closes over. It must be on this side. Nope, there the cable is, so it must be around here somewhere. Yep, there it is. That's where the cable is hooked, just on the edge of there. Yeah, so we managed to get it off and get our lawn strimmer opened up. Yeah, so next thing now is our cable. This is the cable, the one we've disconnected. And if I pull on there, you see that? So we've got to get that now onto this trigger. By the looks of it, it just simply slides in. I'm going to try and do this a bit fiddly with one hand, but I'll try. Yeah, there you go. It just slides in like that, and it works like that. Yeah, that may not be the right way around. our trigger should fit in just like that. Yeah, so it goes through like that, and our cable fits in the back end there. That's easy enough, yeah. So we're gonna price that out. Our spring slots in there and presses against the bottom. There's a spring there, there. I'm gonna hook it onto there and do that just quickly, yeah. Okay, there you go. Our new trigger is fitted in, slots in, our cable is connected. Our cable, if I tug on that end, you can see it works there. Alright. So all I've got to do now is seal this back up. So I'm going to flip this cover over back onto there, just like that. But at the same time, there you go, there's a screw that just fell out. The small one goes in the middle there, which goes through your shaft. Yeah, now this is a bit tricky to, no it isn't really. There you go, flip it over like that. You need to sort your cables out and make sure everything is secure when you're putting it back together, yeah? So, all your cables there, flip it back over, make sure they're all routed properly where they're supposed to be. You don't want nothing catching and getting damaged. Yeah, so that was sitting in there and runs along the side there. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna route our cables back the way they were around there, and all the way back up, yeah? Alright, as you can see, I've got my strimmer back together. And there's my triggering, supported in a vise. My top cover, which I've taken apart. There's the wiring that's runs through the top cover. That's all in position. Here's my cover, which I'm going to put on. But what I'm going to do, if I just turn it over, get that out of sight, is secure my wiring in. No, sorry. Here's my wiring. I'm going to secure my wiring in the cover using a bit of tape. Yeah, so basically it's just going to run along the side just like that. I could even just use a bit of tape just to take it on there, because it's just to keep it from getting trapped between the casing. Yeah, so I'm going to do that and put my cover back on. Yeah, so everything is all lined up and it's all good to go. Okay, this is a shot of my exhaust. First I made it look like that. You saw it when it came off the motor in it, strimmer, whatever it's called. And then I made it look like that. Brilliant, isn't it? Looks brand new. Look at that, eh? Nice and smooth. Feels lovely. Smooth as a baby's behind. Yep. Okay, YouTube. I didn't get to finish the video showing you how to strip. Well, I did show you how to replace your triggers on here and on here. You press that one works. If you don't press that one won't work. So if you press that without pressing that, this is how you break your trigger. So that and that together. This is your on and off switch. Yeah. On here you got your choke control. Yeah. And in here is where you put your petrol and oil mixture, your 2 strokes mix, yeah? You screw back in there that I said to you to hold the tank on. Your pipes connects under this cover here, if I can get it off. There you go. From your fuel tank. Yeah? And that just slips on. When we took it off, it comes off like that. Hooks on here and here. Just hook on there and flip it over and it locks. Yeah, so we put our triggers back there. Trickiest bit was the electrical cable that runs down here, from here back around here to get in between there. Once we got that in, screwing it together was simple enough. Okay, now I'm just going to give it a start up. So I switch it on and I got my code there. I'm just going to rest that on there for a minute. I'm just going to start it and switch it off again. It's just to show you that I've got it working. I'm not going to put it on there actually. Oh, that's on. Some choke. I'm going to rest this somewhere, to be honest. was just to show you that it does work, yeah? And a hint here, yeah? We unscrew there. Pop this out, should just pop out. Okay, there's your string, which is here. That screws onto there.